Hi, my name is Adam Toffman, and I'm here to talk about the drinking age of military personnel. Now, many people think that military personnel should be allowed to drink on post. In fact, that's the way it used to be. Back in the day, about 30 or 40 years ago, as long as the installation commander okayed it, it was completely legal for all military personnel to drink on that military installation. In the 1980s, however, federal law was passed stating that the installation commander must adopt whatever the state's law was. Now, if you're an American and you're in the United States, that pretty much means that the age is 21 to drink. The only exception to that federal law was that if your installation was 50 miles or within 50 miles of Canada or Mexico, the new minimum age for you would be equal to the lowest age possible within that 50-mile jurisdiction of that country. Now, it's up to your installation command to also adhere to if they want to have it be that minimum age or if they want it to go up to 21. It's their call. Also, if you're outside of the United States, stationed on an installation in some other country, the minimum age is made automatically 18 years old, unless otherwise stated by some kind of treaty or your installation commander. But it can never be any younger. Now, a lot of people don't think that you're mature enough to drink at the age of 18. I think this is where a lot of issues arise with what I'm talking about right now. You see, in many states, it's legal to drink underage as long as you're under a parent or guardian's supervision, and that parent or guardian provided you with the alcohol. You also have to be off of a licensed premises, so you can't be at the bar or at some restaurant ordering drinks. But still, if you're just hanging out at the house and your parents are okay with it and they're watching you, it's completely legal to drink. I just don't get it. If you're still not mature enough at the age of 18, but you're a military personnel, it just doesn't make any sense. Another example, if at 18 you can sit there and help to choose the next president of the United States who's going to govern your country for the next 4 years, how can you not be able to drink? That's a lot of responsibility for somebody to have, and a lot of controversy with the issue which I'm talking about. The biggest part is these military personnel. If you are responsible enough to enlist into the military, you are responsible enough to have a drink, at least on post with your buddies. If you're in the military, you become the guy that is relied on by your country to keep them safe. You become the guy that might have to give his life for his country. You become the guy that may have to take another person's life away for their country. You become the guy that might be placed in charge of another man or woman that is twice your age, but since they're 40 years old and you're 20, they can legally drink and you can't. But you do have that responsibility to take them overseas and go to war and bring them back safe. That's your responsibility. Somehow you can't hold enough responsibility to drink a few beers and not get out of hand though. Now, the military, and as a military man myself, I do know, has their own rules. They're governed by everyone else's rules that are applied to the whole country, but they also have their own. The Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ, better known by military personnel. Now, under UCMJ, if the law was that military personnel could drink, as long as they're on a military installation, there should be no problem. They could be punished under UCMJ. UCMJ can do a lot of things to a soldier or an airman or a seaman or a marine. They can put you on restriction, which means that you can only be at a certain place at a certain time for a certain duration, or they can do things such as even move a man or a woman away from their wife and kids and move them on post because they've shown a pattern of bad behavior or failure to show up at work, or just done something that they need to be continually watched. If they can do things like that, then why would they not be able to control irresponsible drinking of someone who is now considered a minor? There should be no problem. Well, what I'm getting at is that I think if you're able and responsible enough to enlist into the military and go fight our nation's wars or our country's wars, you should be responsible enough to come back, tell your stories with your friends in your barracks room or on post while over a beer or two. I don't think that's too much to ask, and I don't think any military person would have any argument against it. Alright, thanks for listening.